Finite math. In this video, we're going to talk about linear equations and their graphs. We're going to find the equation of a line from a graph, write the slope-intercept form given the y-intercept and slope, find the slope of a line, write the slope-intercept form given a point and the slope, write the standard form of a linear equation. As you go through this video, you're going to notice icons on the left. We're going to be talking about the process for each of these, some examples. There's going to be one for you to practice, and finally, the video task, what you need to do. What formula are we going to use for this video? We're going to use the slope-intercept form. That's y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Find the equation of a line from a graph. Use the graph of the line to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope. Let's find the x-intercept first. Remember, the x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, and that is at -6. So it asks us to type an integer or simplified fraction. For this one, we're just going to put in -6. Now we need to find the y-intercept. Well, the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and for this line, it's -5. They ask us to type an integer or a simplified fraction, so we're just going to put in -5. Let's find the slope. Well, the slope is rise over run. We're going to start from the x-intercept, and we're going to figure out what we have to do to get to the y-intercept. Starting at -6, I have to go down 5 and to the right 6. When I'm going down, that's actually a negative, so that's where I wrote -5. When I'm going to the right, it's positive, so that's how we get 6. So our slope is -5/6. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. Simplify your answer using integers or fractions for any numbers in the equation. Type your answer in slope-intercept form. Well, let's review for a second. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. We already know both of them. Our slope is -5/6, and our y-intercept, that's -5. So the answer for this question is y equals -5/6 x minus 5. Let's do this one. Use the graph of the line to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope. First, let's find the x-intercept. The x-intercept is where our line crosses the x-axis. And for this one, it's -7. Let's find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. Let's find the y-intercept. That's where it crosses the y-axis. For this line, it crosses at 4, so our y-intercept is 4. Next, we need to find the slope. Remember, the slope is rise over run. Let's go from the x-intercept to the y-intercept. So we're going to start at -7. I have to go up 4 and then to the right 7. That means that the slope of this line is 4/7. Write the slope-intercept form for the equation of the line. Simplify your answer, use integers or fractions for any numbers in the equation. Type your answer in slope-intercept form. Once again, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. That's our slope-intercept form. M is your slope and b is the y-intercept. For this line, the slope is 4/7 and the y-intercept is 4. So our equation is y equals 4/7 x plus 4. You get to try this one by yourself. Use the graph of the line to find the x-intercept, y-intercept, and slope. Pause the video, find it, and then press play to check. Let's see how you did. First, let's find the x-intercept. The x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis, and for this line, it's at -3. Let's find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and for this line, it's at -5. Next, we have to find the slope. Now remember, the slope is rise over run. We're going to go from the x-intercept to the y-intercept. So we're going to start at -3, and we have to go down 5 and to the right 3. So our slope is -5/3. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. Simplify your answer using integers or fractions for any numbers in the equation. type your answer in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. Well, it's not too bad with this one because we already know the slope is negative 5/3 and the y-intercept is negative 5. So our answer, y equals negative 5/3 x minus 5. Write the slope-intercept form given the y-intercept and slope. Find the equation of the line with the y-intercept negative 6 and slope 6/7. Well, let's look at our formula again. Y equals mx plus b. Well, m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. And for this question, they give it to us. Our y-intercept is negative 6 and our slope is 6/7. So the answer for this one is y equals 6/7 x minus 6. Find the equation of the line with the y-intercept 2 and slope of 7. Remember, we're going to use y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. They give us the y-intercept of 2 and the slope of 7. That means our equation is y equals 7x plus 2. Write the slope-intercept form given a point and the slope. Write the equation of the line through the indicated point with the indicated slope. Write the final answer in the form y equals mx plus b. For this question, we're given m is negative 7 and an ordered pair on the line 5, negative 3. Well, the first thing we know, which is super cool, is that our slope is negative 7. So all I'm going to do is put negative 7 in for m. But the problem we have is the ordered pair we're given is not the y-intercept, but we do have an x and y value. So what we're going to do is we're going to substitute the x and y values from the ordered pair into the formula that we have. Let's do it. The y value is negative 3 and the x value is 5. So what we need to do next is solve for b. Here's our equation. Negative 7 times 5 is negative 35. We still need to get b by itself. We're going to add 35 to both sides, and it turns out that our y-intercept b is 32. Rewrite the formula with the slope and y-intercept that we just found. Remember, y equals mx plus b. Well, our slope is negative 7, and our y-intercept is 32. Y equals negative 7x plus 32. Let's look at this one. Write the equation of the line through the indicated point with the indicated slope. Write the final answer in the form y equals mx plus b. For this question, we're given m is 9/4 and the ordered pair is 4, negative 6. We're going to use y equals mx plus b. Well, right away, we already know what the slope is, right? M is 9/4, so let's put that in. But we have a problem because we're not given the y-intercept. But we do have an x and y value. We're going to substitute the x and y values from the ordered pair into the formula. Y is negative 6 and x is 4. Next, we need to solve for b. Well, 9/4 times 4 turns out to be 9. I need to get b by itself, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides, and it turns out that b is negative 15. That means our y-intercept is negative 15. Rewrite the formula with the slope and y-intercept that we just found. So all we have to do is put 9/4 in for m, which is our slope, and negative 15 in for b. This gives us y equals 9/4 x minus 15. You get to try this one by yourself. Write the equation of the line through the indicated point with the indicated slope. Write the final answer in the form y equals mx plus b. They give us the slope, m, is negative 2, and the ordered pair 2, negative 1. Pause the video, work it, and then press play so we can check it. For this one, right away, we know that negative 2 is our slope, so we're going to put negative 2 in for m. The problem is we're not given the y-intercept, but we do have an x and y value. What we're going to do is we're going to substitute the x and y value from the ordered pair into the formula. The y value is negative 1, the x value is 2. We need to solve for b. What we're going to do is take negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. I need to get b by itself, so I add 4 to both sides. which gives us b equals 3. Cool! Our y-intercept is 3. Rewrite the formula with the slope and y-intercept that we just found. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. Awesome! Find the slope, and then write the slope-intercept form given 2 points. What is the formula for the slope of a line? The formula for slope of a line, when we're given 2 points, is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Let's say we have the first order pair, or the first point, negative 8, negative 7. And we have the second order pair, or second point, for negative 1. Now what I like to do is actually write x1, y1 and x2, y2 over our 2 points, because then it's super easy to substitute into our formula. Y sub 2 is negative 1 minus, the minus is part of the formula, y sub 1 is negative 7. In the denominator or bottom, x sub 2 is 4 minus negative 8. Negative 1 minus negative 7 is 6. 4 minus negative 8 is 12. We always have to reduce it though. Turns out that our slope is a half. Now that we have that, write the equation in slope-intercept form. We're going to substitute the x and y values from one of the ordered pairs into the formula, just like we've been doing. Now it doesn't matter which ordered pair we use. I decided to use the second ordered pair. You can use the first one, doesn't matter. I'm going to put negative 1 in for y and 4 in for x. Now we're going to solve for b. Well, 1/2 times 4 is 2. I need to get b by itself. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. That gives us negative 3 equals b. Our y-intercept is negative 3. Finally, we have to write the equation in slope-intercept form. That's going to give us y equals 1/2 x. Remember, 1/2 is our slope. Minus 3, because minus 3 is our y-intercept. Let's look at another one. We're given 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. The first thing they ask us to do is find the slope of the line. Well, here are our 2 points, negative 7, negative 9, and 7, negative 1. Once again, I like to write x1, y1, and x2, y2 over my 2 points, because then when I do the formula, it is super easy. All we have to do is just follow our points. y2 is negative 1 minus, which is part of the formula, y1, which is negative 9. In the denominator or the bottom, we take x sub 2, which is 7, minus, which is part of the formula, x sub 1, which is negative 7. Negative 1 minus negative 9 is 8. 7 minus negative 7 is 14. When we reduce it, we end up with 4/7. The second part asks us to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, we already know the slope, which is 4/7. So we're going to write y equals 4/7 x plus b. But we don't know b, we don't know the y-intercept, because neither one of our ordered pairs is the y-intercept. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the ordered pairs. It doesn't matter which one. I decided to do the second one again. We do know the y value, which is negative 1, from our ordered pair, and we do know the x value, which is 7, from the ordered pair. Now we're going to solve for b. 4/7 times 7 is 4. We need to solve for b. I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, and b is negative 5. All we have left to do is rewrite the formula with the slope and y-intercept that we just found. They ask us to write it in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Well, m is 4/7, so I put 4/7 in for m. And b is negative 5, so I put negative 5 in for b. So the answer for this one is y equals 4/7 x minus 5. Here's one for you to try. You're going to pause the video, do it, and then press play, because we'll work it together. First, we have to find the slope of the line before we can write the equation in slope-intercept form. Given 2 points, x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2, we're going to use the formula for slope. Once again, I like to write x1, y1, and x2, y2 over my 2 ordered pairs. That's because it's super easy to do the formula. We're going to take y sub 2, which is 2, minus, which is part of the formula, y sub 1, which is negative 3. In the denominator or bottom, we're going to take x sub 2, which is negative 6, minus x sub 1, which is 4. 2 minus negative 3 is 5. 6 minus 4 is negative 10. We always have to reduce it. So it turns out that our slope is negative 1/2. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Well, we already know our slope. We just figured it out. It's negative 1/2. The problem is, when we look at our two-ordered pairs, neither one of them is the y-intercept. So we need to solve for b. It doesn't matter which order pair you use. I decided to use the second one again. You could have used the first one. We're going to get the same answer. I'm going to put 2 in for y, negative 6 in for x. Let's solve for b. Negative 1/2 times negative 6 is 3. I have to subtract 3 from both sides to get b by itself. Turns out that b is negative 1. So write the formula with the slope and y-intercept that we just found. Remember, y equals mx plus b, where m is negative 1/2 and b is negative 1. That gives us y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. We're going to find the slope of a line, which we just did. Then we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form, which we just did. But then we're going to write the equation in standard form. And standard form is ax plus by equals c. First, we're going to find the slope of the line that passes through the given points. Then, we're going to find the standard form of the equation of the line. And finally, find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. The easiest way to do this is to find the slope, then do c, find the slope-intercept form, and from the slope-intercept form, we're going to find the standard form. Yeah, it seems a little weird, but let's do this one together. The first thing that we have to do is we have to find the slope. Remember, I like to write x1, y1 and x2, y2 over my two-ordered pairs. Y sub 2 is 9 minus y sub 1 is 6. X sub 2 is 6 minus x sub 1 is 2. 9 minus 6 is 3 and 6 minus 2 is 4. We're going to do c next. Find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. Well, we already know the slope, which is 3/4. What we don't know is the y-intercept. And the ordered pairs that we're given, they're not the y-intercept. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the ordered pairs and substitute that x and y into the formula. This time, I decided to do the first one. I'm going to put 6 in for y and 2 in for x. Let's solve for b. 3/4 times 2 turns out to be 3/2. I'm going to subtract 3/2 from both sides, and b is 9/2. What does the equation look like? Y equals mx plus b, so y equals 3/4 x plus 9/2. Now don't freak out that you get a y-intercept as a fraction. We're not trying to graph these. We're just finding the equation. We did a and b. Next, we need to find the standard form. The standard form is ax plus by equals c. For the standard form, we have to worry about two things. First, standard form does not contain any fractions. And second, the a in ax has to be positive. Let's look at the slope-intercept form. Y equals 3/4 x plus 9/2. The first thing we realize is we cannot have a fraction, so we're going to get rid of the fractions. To do that, I'm going to multiply everything by 4. That would be our common denominator. So I'm going to take 4 times y, 4 times 3/4 x, plus 4 times 9/2. When we do that, we have 4y equals 3x plus 18. Let's remember the standard form is ax plus by equals c, so I have to get the x to the other side. So all I'm going to do is subtract 3x from both sides. But now we have a problem because negative 3 has to be positive. Yep. How exactly I'm going to make negative 3 a positive? Well, what times negative 3 is positive 3? Negative 1. The coefficient, remember, of the x value cannot be negative, so we're going to multiply everything by negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 3x is 3x. Negative 1 times 4y is negative 4y, and negative 1 times 18 is negative 18. This turns out to be standard form. Let's do this one together. Find the slope of the line that passes through the given points, A. B, find the standard form for the equation of the line. And then C, find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. They give us two ordered pairs, 3, 2, and 7, 5. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out the slope. Our two ordered pairs are 3, 2, and 7, 5. As you see, I like to write x1, y1, and x2, y2 over the ordered pairs. I'm going to take y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 7 minus 3 is 4. So that gives us a slope of 3/4. We just did A, our slope is 3/4. Next, we're going to do C, find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. Well, we already know our slope, which is 3/4. Next, we're going to substitute an x and y from one of our ordered pairs to solve for B. This time, I decided to use the first ordered pair. I'm going to put 2 in for y and 3 in for x. Now, we're going to solve for B. 3/4 times 3 turns out to be 9/4. I need to get B by itself. I need to get B by itself. I subtract 9/4 from both sides of the equal sign, and it turns out that our y-intercept is negative 1/4. What's the equation going to look like? Well, y equals 3/4 x minus 1/4. Let's go back and do B. B asks us to find the standard form. The standard form is ax plus by equals c. We're going to use the slope-intercept form. We're going to multiply everything by 4. 4 times y is 4y. 4 times 3/4 x is 3x. And 4 times 1/4 is 1. So that gives us 4y equals 3x minus 1. We still needed to look like our standard form, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. Here's the standard form. Remember, a cannot be negative, it has to be positive. And just to remind everybody, I had to multiply by 4 because standard form doesn't have fractions in it either. Now how do I get rid of a negative 3? I just multiply everything by negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 3x is 3x. Negative 1 times 4y is negative 4y. And negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. And this turns out to be our standard form. You get to try this one by yourself. You're going to pause the video, do it, and then press play to check. Let's do A first. Find the slope of the line that passes through the given points. Our given points are 0, 5, and negative 4, 1. We're going to take y sub 2, which is 1, minus y sub 1, 5, x sub 2, negative 4, minus x sub 1, which is 0. This gives us negative 4 over negative 4, which is 1, and 1 is our slope. We're going to do C next. Find the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line. We already know that our slope is 1. I could write y equals 1x plus b or y equals x plus b. Now, we want to substitute in an x and a y. I decided to use the first order pair. I'm going to put 5 in for y and 0 in for x. 1 times 0 is 0, so it turns out that 5 is b. What's our equation going to look like? Y equals 1x plus 5, or y equals x plus 5. And that is the equation in slope-intercept form. Finally, we're going to find standard form. Y equals x plus 5 is slope-intercept form. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Now hopefully you remember, a has to be positive. So we're going to multiply everything by negative 1. And then we end up with x minus y equals negative 5. And that is our standard form. So what are you supposed to be doing? Well, practice, practice, practice. And even if your instructor says that the homework doesn't count towards your grade, you still should do it. Did you like this video? Well, like it. Did you really like it? Why not subscribe? Did it help you? Well, why don't you share it to your friends? I want to mention that look for my videos where I complete these questions on my Math Lab and Math Excel. Remember, it's not magic, it's math.